This is STEM Changing Verbs in Spanish, following Chapter 4, Lessons 2 and 3 in the Vistas Higher Learning textbook. By the end of this video, you'll know what STEM changers are, how to spot them, and how to conjugate them confidently. Let's begin with what we already know, the verb estudiar. We know when conjugating verbs like estudiar, we ask ourselves the following questions. What kind of verb is it? AR. How do you know? It ends in an AR. Well, how do we find the stem? We chop off that AR, then we copy and paste the stem and change the ending based off of who's doing the action. By now, it should be a smooth process to replace ARs with o, as, a, amos, or an, ERs with o, es, hemos, and ein, and IRs with o, es, imos, and ein. We know how to change the endings. Now let's change the stem. There are three types of stem-changing verbs, E to IE, E to I, and O to UE. For today's example, we've got three verbs. Querer, to want or love. Pedir, to ask for or request. And dormir, to sleep. I love that verb so much. Okay, let's do it. Step 1, the boot. Unlike the endings, which all deviate from the AR, ER, or IR they start out from, stem-changing verbs follow a boot-shaped pattern of change in the conjugation table. In other words, if you have yo, tú, usted, él, ella, nosotros, nosotras, ustedes, ellos, and ellas. Every single row will have a different ending, o as, a, amos, an, o es, hemos, en, o es, imos, en. Stem changers, on the other hand, all change in the same way every time except for the nosotros, nosotras form. And if you highlight or outline only the forms that change, you get a boot shape. Another way to remember it is, we never change. Step 2, the endings. We already know the endings for AR, ER, and IR verbs, so let's input those real quick. We also know that because we never change, the nosotros, nosotras forms will not have a stem change. In other words, it's normal. Queremos, pedimos, dormimos. Step 3, the stems. Oh, this is my favorite part. We're going to start with querer, because I just want to. I love that verb. Okay, whatever. We're going to chop off that ER from querer, which leaves us with QUER. Since it's an E to IE stem changer, we're going to replace the E with an IE, leaving us with quier. QUIER. This is our new change stem for all of the forms inside that boot. This results in quiero, quieres, quiere, but queremos stays the same, and finally quieren. See that boot of change happening? Okay, I'm getting word that people are asking for and requesting that we do pedir next. Take off the IR and we're left with PED. It's an E to I stem changer, so replace that E with an I, giving us PID. B. And there's our stem. The conjugated forms of pedir are pido, pides, pide, pedimos, and piden. Oh no, people are sleeping now? Ugh. Okay, let's just do dormir and wrap it up. Take off the IR, we're left with DORM, dorm. It's an O to UE stem changer, so we get duerm, DUERM. Throw that in the boot, and that gives us duermo, duermes, duerme, still dormimos, and back to duermen. Notice how the boot stays the same whether it's an E to IE, E to I, or O to UE stem changer. It'll also happen across AR, ER, and IR verbs alike. That's why a lot of people call stem-changing verbs boot verbs. In these cases, it was really easy to find which vowel to replace with the stem change. But what about verbs like preferir, to prefer, repetir, to repeat, or encontrar, to find? How do you know which vowel in the stem you're going to change? The last rule to remember about stem changers is this. You always change the last syllable in the stem. Preferir. Cover the IR and you get prefer. That second E, the fer, is the one to change because it's the last syllable in the stem. Repetir. Cover the IR, you've just got repe. Pe. That second E changes. Encontrar. Cover the AR, you get encon. That O is going to change because it's the last syllable in the stem. Preferir is an E to IE stem changer. Repetir is an E to I stem changer. And encontrar is an O to UE stem changer. Now it's your turn. Go ahead and try those yourself. Pause the video, write them out, and see how well you did. Don't worry. Oh, wait. No, really, I will. And for everybody who's decided they're just going to do it later, now is your time to do it, because we both know you're not going to do it later. Thank you. Okay, pause time is over. Your answers are in the description box. Today we learn the basics of stem-changing verbs. You learn 3 types of stem changes, E to IE, E to I, and O to UE. You also learned which forms stay versus change. Remember, we always stay the same. And how to tell which vowel to change in a stem changer. Remember, it's the last syllable in the stem. From this chapter onward, whenever you learn a new stem-changing verb, the textbook will let you know what kind of change it is in parentheses. Here's an example straight from the Chapter 4 vocabulary list. Don't worry. The more you practice and hear and use stem changers, the more natural they sound, and you'll start to know instinctively which one sounds right. You'll wonder, quiero? Quiero? No, definitely quiero, because quiero just sounds wrong. For more practice, you can check out this vocabulary drill or try a few of my shorts quizzes, where there's a blank and you fill it in with the properly conjugated forms of stem-changing verbs. I know a lot of you probably have a test coming up, or just took a test, and I just want to say, you got this. Nos vemos!